They say every city has a heartbeat, but Los Angeles has something else, a pulse, a restless tremor under the soil, like the ground remembers every dream ever whispered into it. Before the bright lights, before Hollywood, before the endless freeways, this place was only a stretch of sunburned earth, quiet, harsh, forgotten. Then came the 44 settlers of 1781. They stood by a thin river under brutal heat, staring at a barren valley. One soldier muttered, "There is nothing here." But a woman named Maria Feliciana knelt, touched the dry soil, and whispered, "There is everything here, it just hasn't awakened yet." They built a tiny pueblo with cracked adobe homes, rebuilt after every flood and every drought. Through political shifts, Spain to Mexico to the United States, the settlement survived because the people refused to let it die. Still, no one imagined it becoming anything more. Then workers near La Brea heard a bubbling beneath the ground. Black tar oozed out, sticking to everything. It wasn't demon's mud, as one man said, it was oil. And suddenly Los Angeles exploded with speculation. Tents, drills, money, and ambition flooded the quiet valley, pushing the town into a future no one had planned. But the true transformation arrived quietly in 1910, when a young filmmaker named Elias Harper stepped off a train with nothing but a wooden camera and unpaid debts chasing him. The station master told him, "Nothing lives here, but it's cheap, and no one cares what you film." That was all Elias needed. He rented a broken barn with holes in the roof and started filming with a small group of dreamers. One evening the ground shook, a real California earthquake. Actors ran out, but Elias stayed inside, clutching his camera like it was part of his soul. The barn survived, barely. But outside waited a new threat, dark-coated men sent by the studio he'd escaped from. "You can't run forever," one said. "The movie business belongs to us." Before they could approach, locals stepped forward, a shopkeeper with a shovel, a farmer with calloused hands, neighbors who barely knew Elias. "This town belongs to those who build it," the shopkeeper said. The men backed down, surprised by the unity. Word traveled. Los Angeles was a haven for filmmakers. Sunlight, open land, freedom from lawsuits, it was irresistible. Barns turned to studios. Silent actors became legends. The Hollywoodland sign rose across the hills like a promise. Elias's barn became one of the earliest independent studios, but as the city grew, shadows grew with it, corruption, broken dreams, fame that burned hotter than the sun. By the 1940s, Elias watched the city glow from his rooftop, neon lights, crowded streets, cultures blending. But he also saw the cracks, neighborhoods like Bunker Hill marked for demolition, longtime residents pushed aside. A young girl once asked him, "Mister, will they take our house?" He had no answer. Los Angeles went through turmoil, riots, injustice, anger rising like heat waves, but every time it broke, people rebuilt. Artists painted on burned walls. Musicians turned pain into songs. Families created new roots. Immigrants from every corner of the world brought traditions that filled the city with color, sound, and heartbeat. Elias lived long enough to see Koreatown, Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Boyle Heights, Echo Park all vibrant, each adding new rhythms to the city. In his final days, he returned to the old riverbank where the 44 settlers first stood. The once empty valley now held millions of souls, all chasing something, hope, reinvention, a second chance. He closed his eyes and imagined Maria again, whispering across time, "There is everything here, it just hasn't awakened yet." And he realized she had been right. The city didn't just awaken, it rose, fell, rose again, always dreaming, always rebuilding. Los Angeles is more than movies. More than freeways or palm trees. It is a city of earthquakes, physical and emotional. A place where dreams stumble but don't disappear. A place where strangers stand up for each other. A place shaped by risk-takers, believers, survivors. A miracle born from dust. A story still being written. A city that waits for the next dreamer to arrive, look around, feel that pulse beneath their feet, and whisper, "Is this the place?" Yes. This is the place.